We are done with qualifying for the 108th Indianapolis 500. What's the headline? Team Penske, 1, 2, 3. Last time that happened, 1988, I believe. Phenomenal performance by them. The only way they were not going to sweep the front row is if they got something wrong, because they have been that much better than everybody else here since Fast Friday. Knowing how good they are, that all they had to do was go and deliver. It's exactly what they did. Real drama here brought in the close of the Fast Six, where we had Will Power go looking like he might get his first pole position at the Indy 500. The only accolade he's yet to receive in IndyCar. Joseph Newgarden, super fast as well. Indeed, the last person to go, Scott McLaughlin, New Zealand, you're on the pole again. We had his hero, Scott Dixon, on pole here, 2021, 2022. So yet again, I guess in this new decade, at the Indy 500, at least on pole position, the tiny, tiny island nation, beloved island nation of New Zealand, 3 poles. Congratulations to Scotty Mack, the entire Thirsty 3, number 3 Team Chevy crew. He and his race engineer, Ben Bretzman, who just celebrated a birthday. They're on track tomorrow at 1 o'clock, but there's going to be some drinking tonight. Spoke with GM Racing boss Jim Campbell, Rob Buckner, their IndyCar program manager, and said, as my late colleague Robin Miller often said to them when they ran away with pole position here, "You bullies," and that's what they did. They didn't just take the front row, they took the second row as well. So, as emphatic a performance as Team Penske and Chevy can do, Arrow McLaren, super strong, Santino Ferrucci in there as well, AJ Foyt Racing, massive congratulations to them. Why don't we talk to someone who, to me, outside of all this, among the biggest teams and or the fastest teams who we expect this stuff from, Dry and Reinbold Racing, Ryan Hunter-Reay, part of the Fast 12. To me, that is really maybe my favorite part of the weekend. Friends, I think the coolest thing that has happened this weekend in qualifying at the Indianapolis 500, it certainly was pretty cool with Rinus VeeKay and the Ed Carpenter Racing team rallying back from a big crash. I know you love the kid, teammates with him. Great stuff with Kyle Larson, crowd going insane. I spent my whole career working for smaller to medium-sized teams. We were always the Davids trying to fight the Goliaths. The thing I love most from qualifying, this Fast 12, Ryan Hunter-Reay, the Dry and Reinbold team, Cusick Motorsports, in the Fast 12, the only Indy-only team left in IndyCar. You crack the top 12.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, Captain America.
I appreciate it. And yeah, you've had experience on smaller teams, and the fact that we're one off, I can't tell you how much it means to everybody involved in this program, how much attention to detail they put into it, the effort that goes into it. But you know, they're the last to get parts. You know, they're the last down the line,
yeah,
right? To get the development done and to get in the wind tunnel and things like that. And it's a huge deal for us to get into that Fast 12. So yesterday was a bit of Indy magic. It was fun. It was really fun to be a part of that. And we made the right decisions at the right time and got it where we need to get it. So really, really thrilled for the team on that. They should be proud of it. And you can definitely win from 12th if you have the right race car.
So we need to overstate the obvious here. What entire team did you out-qualify? Oh, it's not a single team. Chip Ganassi entered 5 cars. You out-qualified all of them.
Which is wild. I mean, I don't think anybody has an answer to that.
No.
Why? But that's Indy.
Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, right? Out-qualified 3 out of their 4 cars. We can run down the list. Same with Andretti Global. Folks need to appreciate what this little team did with amazing mechanics, engineering staff, management, marketing and sales. I mean, you got every sticker, logo possible on you. Folks need to appreciate the monumental effort y'all put in. Speak to that, because this isn't a group that just wakes up early May and says, oh, we should get a car ready. They're busting their hump all year long to produce something like this.
Yeah, no, they're working on it all year. And the fact that we have an absolutely full car with great partners, you know, Venture HR, 4-6's ranch, which is unbelievable. You know, that's a really cool story, and we'll get more into that down the road in a race week. But you know, and 101 Studios, this is the Yellowstone group, right? This is who puts on Yellowstone, and
Everybody
Taylor
loves
Sheridan.
that show.
Yeah. So it's really cool to have them there. I love it when we get outside of motorsports and kind of bring industries together like that. So really happy with that, and Chevy has just done a tremendous job. They've given us more support this year as well, and they have done a great job at getting, you know, locking out the Fast Six.
Let's close on this. Dennis Reinbold, one of the great people you'll meet, lovers of the Indianapolis 500 IndyCar, 25 years for Ryan Reinbold. Don Cusick, possibly the world's first Energizer Bunny.
Yep.
He's all about passion and love, helping to do so much. The DeBoard family, I mean, tell folks about the amazing people who really make Ryan Reinbold Racing work, because they're responsible for this too.
Yeah, I think the foundation is that passion that Dennis Reinbold has for this race. You know, his whole year revolves around this, and you can feel it through the whole team. A lot of the crew members I've worked with in the past, they've worked for the Ganassis, the Penskes, you know, the Andrettis, and they get together and they get to focus on this one race, and it has its advantages like that. It's great to have Don Cusick on board. He's so passionate about this program as well, and really, it's a great atmosphere within the team. So when you get to really pull it all together and have a great effort like that, and now we're in the top 12 in the Indy 500. Really, really proud of that. Honestly, it's I've been working this year also with not only Todd Bolin, who I worked with last year as my engineer,
Race engineer,
but
yep.
Peter Gibbons back for the first time in many years, and he's been the engineer for Mears,
Legend of legends.
Andretti's. Yeah, I worked at Penske, Newman
Haas.
Haas. You know, so way overqualified on the stand. But it's phenomenal to get these names together, these groups together, and everybody's got one drive, one focus.
We always look for that David and Goliath story each year at the Indianapolis 500. Our man Captain America, your 2014 winner of the Indy 500. He and the Ryan Reinbold Cusick Motorsports team absolutely living up to that. Can't wait to see what happens for y'all next Sunday. Last year you raced your behind off, dealing with some mechanical issues, aero issues, but you never stopped fighting. So if you're looking for a team and an entry to get behind that isn't one of the big names, this is the one. On the other end of excitement, and if you look up here, you will see fans. Granted, we've cleared out a little bit, but they were cheering and rooting like mad every big lap that got put up, every lap that was high 233s, over 234. The entire place was exploding. McLaughlin was putting up a ton of those, but at the opposite end of the cheering and excitement, we had our last chance qualifying session. Young, amazing 19-year-old American talent Nolan Siegel, driving for one of the smaller teams, crashed a couple days ago, forced into a backup car that was by no means fast, got into the LCQ. We had crazy drama. Looked like Graham Rahal was at risk of possibly going home for the second year in a row. He was on the bubble in 33rd. Nolan Siegel went out last. Basically, the clock ran out. Final run. Nolan spun and crashed in turn one at the end of his first flying lap. Unfortunately, Clay, congratulations, my brother.
Thank you.
One of the great folks, one of the great crew members here in IndyCar. So sad for Nolan, but I hope this doesn't let him lose confidence in his ability. He can do so much better. I hope he will have better opportunities next year. He was okay, thankfully, but very gracious in getting out of the car. But spoke with Bob Rahal, our friend here, who weathered last year's rough LCQ, seeing his son fall out of the event, was able to come back in through a weird circumstance, but spoke with Bob about this and seeing Graham hold on to P33, all four Rahal Letterman Lanigan cars in the 2024 Indy 500. Bob, you are many things to me, someone I deeply appreciate and respect. I also got to wonder, though, is there a little drama queen inside you? Because it seems like you love showing up to these last chance qualifying.
No.
No? Okay.
No, I don't.
Can we say, hopefully, this
is the last one.
The last.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one.
It's the last one.
Tell me about this, brother. You initiated the Indy recovery plan right after things didn't go according to plan last year.
Yeah.
Your team has worked like mad. You've added all kinds of engineers and talent to make sure this didn't happen again. Even so, this place proves you can try any and everything. It still might have some surprises for you.
Well, look at Marcus. The guy won 2 years ago. He was second last year, and here he is, hanging on for dear life as well. That's his place, and I think we made improvements. Takuma had a great qualifying. Christian did a good job. Pietro, for first time coming back in some time. But I think the improvements we made definitely were positive. But maybe our setup wasn't quite. You can have all these improvements, but if you don't have the right setup, that kind of negates it. And I think that certainly in race shape, I think we'll be much more competitive, but it's so damn close. I mean, we did what, 2:36 this morning, 2:30.6, or tonight, and it's that's 3 miles an hour, 2.5 miles an hour off the front row. I mean, it's crazy. And anyway, we're just glad to be in it. Glad we survived. It's hard to sit here. Because if you go out, you withdraw your time.
Yep, you're at risk.
So there's a lot of risk, and. I think we just felt that I didn't think Nolan could wind it up enough to get by us, and I hope he's okay. I pray he's okay. He's a good kid, good young driver.
Great future in front of him too.
Yeah, and so the good Lord was looking over us today.
Amen. Last question, Bob. Let's talk father and son. So we're here, motor racing and Indy 500 and all the stuff we love, but last year you watched your son go through a really unfortunate, tearful moment of getting bumped. Seeing him not happy to get in because Nolan crashed, but obviously knowing he was in the race. Tell me about the emotions of seeing Graham kind of sort of exhale and go, okay, we get to play on.
That's right. I mean, you don't like to see, somebody have an incident that, gets you in a race. I mean, it happens often, but everybody's doing their best. Everybody's hanging it out. He was hanging it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes, that works, and sometimes it doesn't. But as I said, he'll be back here many times. He's got a good future ahead of him. He's a sharp kid. So, you're going to be hearing a lot more of Nolan Siegel in the future.
Yeah, I hope he can find a great home, place where he can show his true talents. Yeah. And hopefully, to Bob's point, this is the final booking. We're no longer booking attendance in the LCQ. We're done.
I guarantee it.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Guarantee it. He's calling his shot. Bob, thank you so much.
Hey, Marsh, thanks.
Okay, so a little secret here. We finished the entire recording here, but saw my guy Ben Bretzman, race engineer for Scott McLaughlin, so we just did a quick interview with him. We'll try and pretend like it happened before, but actually we're just going to slot this in somewhere in the video, but he's the best. Take a listen. Ran into our friend Ben Bretzman, race engineer for the pole-winning Scott McLaughlin. That sounds pretty good. Mentioned it was his birthday, so a great birthday present, but you were just telling me this car, setup-wise, not too far away from one that worked not too long ago.
Yeah, it's I've taken a lot of inspiration from a car from a few years ago that worked really well. Kind of started off the month very similar to this. You go back to last time that at least I was on the front row. I was lucky enough to be with a crew that got pole, and this is pretty much the exact same car as that. And
was a Frenchman that we're both fond of? Simon Pagenaud. Love you, Simon. Yeah. How fun is this? Also knowing, I think it's supposed to be a secret, but he's supposed to be here in a couple days. We'll get to see him. But
I'm very excited about that. I think he's super excited about it also. So that's going to be awesome.
Let me ask you one last thing. Know that Team Penske's gone through some rough times over the last couple weeks and such. You guys have, your 3-car crew in particular, really handled the penalty situation with a lot of class. I spoke to you soon after and you told me this McLaughlin guy, he is going to be a ball of fire going forward. He is going to prove that no matter whatever happened then, we're going to put that in the rearview mirror. Tell me about this guy who stepped up and did exactly what you said he would.
Oh yeah. So going into the week of Barber, with everything that was happening, I've never seen a driver with so much passion and fire kind of built up inside him. He was, lack of a better term, just pissed off because of everything that was happening. And the key for a driver, right, is how do you channel that into something useful? He was able to do. He's been able to do that for the last 4 weeks now. So super strong. So I'm super proud of him. He's been soaking this all up like a sponge, and yeah, I think this is going to keep going. As we say in the 3-car, we're going to the moon, and I think it's just going to keep going as the rest of the year goes on too.
On to the moon. Ben Bretzman, Scott McLaughlin, your pole winners 2024. We also spoke to our good friend Marcus Ericsson, who we spoke to yesterday, who was really surprised to be going into the LCQ, and he almost didn't make it out of the LCQ. If you didn't get a chance to see qualifying, I won't spoil it now. Let's hear from our guy from Sweden and tell us what he did and didn't do, but he did thankfully get into the show. Marcus Ericsson, as the song goes, 3 is the magic number. But 4 is what we're looking for at the Indy 500. I like that you're trying to, I don't know, conserve fuel, set a new trend. Lifting at the end of the 3rd lap is a new one for me. I was with the team that ran out of fuel on the 3rd lap in qualifying, so the 2 of us were confused on our numbers. Tell me about this crazy run. You said you almost passed out.
Yeah, no, it was, you know, it's been a rough few days since my crash. It's definitely been tough with the backup car. We haven't really got the speed in it that we want in quality trim at least, and the balance has been really poor. But the team has worked so hard and getting a little bit better every day. And today, you know, the car was actually feeling good. You know, that first run would have safely put us in. Then, yeah, I do my mistake, which is, you know, unacceptable, but made for an interesting next 45 minutes for sure.
Well, at the same time, we also often hear teams coming over the radio, spotters or whomever is telling you one more 3rd lap, 4th lap, so it's a team effort, but let's close on this. Okay, this has been crazy. You've added a few years, taken a few years off your life.
Sure have.
What do you do tonight, brother? Are you able to relax and breathe?
At the moment, I feel like I need a strong whiskey or something to get my...
I've got some good strong beer.
I might need one of those tonight because, yeah, this place is 3rd year in a row when I'm sitting here in pit lane waiting to go out, and it's like all the pressure in the world on my shoulders. Last 2 years it was for the win, this year was for something else, but I'm proud I made it work and that we are in the race.
Those people from Sweden made from strong stuff. 3 is a magic number, but we're going for 4 from now on.
Thank you.
Close and 2 other points. Obviously, Chevrolet absolutely mollywopped everybody this weekend. Honda held on, got a little bit of action there in the Fast 12. Who was the fastest driver among all the Hondas? That would be Felix Rosenqvist from the Meyershank Racing Team, P9, so top Honda there. Also from Meyershank Racing, further evidence that this team is really going places. Happy for him. P7. Just missed that Fast 6, but P7, some of the biggest cheers we saw all day. Ed Carpenter Racing's Renus VK. That kid is a badass. Oh, so happy for him. Put in an amazing performance yesterday. Yet again today. Not a surprise that they missed out on being right up towards the front in a backup car, but nonetheless, that Renus VK is just incredible. And knowing that he's a free agent, I gotta believe more people are paying attention to him. And the last note coming out of qualifying here, maybe the person with the biggest brass balls within the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Ed Carpenter Racing General Manager Tim Broyles, who said yesterday, we're not gonna have Renus go back out in the safe lane. We're gonna pull his time, believing that we can get him from the back of the qualifying order into the Fast 12, and that is exactly what VK did. So Tim took all the risks. There was no guarantee it was going to pay off and made it happen. So of the lore and all that about this event, this one's going to stand out as one of the truly amazing things that was done. Let's say farewell to qualifying. We got 1 more day of practice, 2 hours on Monday, then we go quiet for a couple days, so we come back for carb day. It gets really busy, but thanks y'all for watching. My French fry flew home, so Borday. But love you all, appreciate y'all. We'll speak to you soon.
Print and digital editions with an issue archive through 2012. Visit info.racer.com to learn more.